The past should be a point of reference, not a place of residence. Fair point. Yet at times he couldn't help wondering how it was that he came to these shores so very long ago. How would things have turned out had he not rolled the dice and ventured forth? Questions you cannot answer are usually far better for you than answers you cannot question. How could he ever hope to specify the unspecifiable? Having in all honesty initially thought he would be here for a week or so before returning to mainland China, he had long accepted that fate had prior arrangements. As it was, he had now been here longer than any other place, and yet was still not a local. A different culture, a different climate, language, diet, 8 hours ahead of those he first knew. The list went on. And entertainment, now so very, very different. Decades ago, when a Friday night date entailed a bird who favoured a pub crawl, he recalled leaving the Wallingford Arms with a girl some might consider dangerously close to the vaguely termed intelligentsia. But she insisted on keeping her feet on the ground, at least at weekends, so as not to appear dry, dispassionate, or, heaven forbid, middle-classed. And this is Humphreys Avenue, named not after Humphrey Bogart, or not even Humphrey Lyttelton, but some long-forgotten colonial administrator from years gone by. Now, where was I? Ah, yes, Friday night entertainment a few decades back. The accepted formula was firmly based on pubs. Alas, she couldn't hold her drink. Without a tipple or two, she appeared aloof. 5 or 6, and in reality it never stopped there. She toppled over. A precarious balance was invariably essential. As they crossed the road, she started to tremble and had to sit on the low fence around the Shell garage. "Snog me before I throw up," she suddenly implored. They snogged, but not for long. By the way, I used to live up there, above the Bank of China. All that remains now are a few white walls. "If you've never tried love on a Friday night, then don't knock it," said my bird, who reportedly went like a rocket. But she then hid the booze, puked all over me shoes, so the condoms remained in me pocket. To all intents and purposes, the night appeared to be over. He asked if she could walk, as a taxi was clearly out of the question. "Affirmative," she replied, and wobbled, then wobbled some more. A perfectly tolerable G&T. Sadly, I failed to get the ear. You had to hand it to her. She had some sense of humour, even in her darkest hour. Again I asked if she could walk. No doubt the laws of reason, and of so much else, have lately been suspended. She could be downright theatrical at times. However, comparative equilibrium was steadily being restored. I would be soon getting a piece of her mother's mind, I assumed. Hopefully nothing worse. But I was morally obliged to deliver her home come what may. Gin had been her undoing. This night, it was vodka the Friday before. A lass who was said to be tremendously clever, but would guzzle whatever the weather. She necked vodka and lime until they called time, when she reached the end of her tether. They were not greeted with open arms, it is fair to say. The girl sat at the foot of the stairs, head in hands. He remained on the doorstep. It appeared that, as this was a regular occurrence, he was not singled out for blame. Indeed, the mother might well have had a few stiff drinks already inside her. The sound of bongos drifted from a room above. Then a faceless voice. An artificial barrier separates your inner authentic self from outer authentic reality. Surely he didn't mean me. The relationship had reached a peculiar zenith, and from that night a gradual decline, civilized but irreparable, ran its natural course. Actually, he ran into her at the station a month or so later, and she confidently informed him she had imbibed her final shot on that night, that consequential night, and now had developed a deep interest in tattoos. She proudly rolled up her left sleeve and displayed Nietzsche in artistic maroon, the new love in her life. On unrequited love I thrive, a sonneteer most orthodox. Kowloon 8:45, she boards the bus my system rocks. As one whose memories fair do chime, my thoughts drift back to Thwaites and Bass, Blackpool Beach, past closing time, Safari lust, a Lancashire lass. These days 'tis just the thoughts remain. I leave the days of yore to Freud. No doubt another will attain those northern pleasures I once enjoyed. Yet should you stroll along that shore, a steel erection stands there yet, o'erlooks the sight of my galore, which even now I can't regret. And there stands the famous Ned Kelly's pub, where jazz music could be heard night after night. I lived just above it on the 5th floor. I shared an apartment with the one and only Mick Such and several others, many, many moons ago. I once dated a beauty called Kelly, renowned for her tattooed beer belly. She downed Breakspears and gin, Pernod just to begin, then dozed off in front of the telly. And so to the east. Ah, the steamy Orient. In Hong Kong, when he stepped cautiously along the enigmatic path of Oriental romance, he befriended a young lady who drank water, distilled water, and on special occasions, Lucozade. And now, dear viewer, I must leave you to reflect on all that has transpired. A zeitgeist-attuned hunch tells me you are in need of inner tranquility after the unleashing of all that passion. Allow me then to guide you to the harmonious sanctum of the Cultural Centre